Hey everyone, hope you're all doing great. In the last couple of classes, we have talked about different data types in Python. We have learned about conditional statements, and we have also seen how to apply for loop and while loop in Python. Now, we have learned so much, it's time that we start applying these things and start solving problems. So today we are going to work on this problem called as password strength checker. This is very much aligned to the way you would set up the password on any website. So they have all the websites have this criteria that your password should meet so as to ensure that your password is strong enough. So here also the problem statement is that we are basically prompting a user to enter a password. The password is supposed to be strong. For the password to be strong, it should have at least 8 characters. It should contain at least one digit and one uppercase letter. And if the password is weak, we keep asking the user to enter a strong password until they have entered a strong one. So, how are we going to solve this problem? So, first, what I want you to do is stop the video and try to solve it by yourself, and then come back to the video again, and then we'll try to solve it together. I hope all of you tried to solve this by yourself and were able to do it as well. If not, no worries. We are going to do it here together. Okay, so what are we asked? It is asking us to take the input from the user. Now, how do we do that? It's very simple, right? There's a function for that input. So input will take care of taking the input from the user. And I'll say enter a strong password. Okay, so this is fine. Let's just enter something here and check once. This is good. Now, second thing that we need to do is we need to check if it has at least 8 characters or not. So len is a function which returns the number of characters in a variable. So here we have 8 characters, hello 1, 2, 3. Now we want to check if it has at least 8 characters or not. So I'll just say less than 8. If it is less than 8, it is a invalid password. And this returns a Boolean value false because the password has 8 characters. So less than 8 is false. Second thing that we want to check is if the password contains at least one digit and one uppercase letter. So we need to check if there is one digit and one uppercase letter or not. That means we need to loop over each item of the password. So if my password for time being, let's just set the password is hello 1, 2, 3. So I need to check if at least one character is there. So what I can do is I can loop over each item of the password. I can say for C in password. And then to check if there is one character or not, or if there is a digit or not, I can do something like this. So if let's say I have H, the first character. So there's this function called as is digit for the string data type. And it returns a false if it is not a digit. And if your string has a digit, or your string can be converted to the numeric data type like this, then it returns true. So this will come handy here. So we can just say if C dot is digit, if it is a digit, then what do we want to do here? We want to maybe have a variable and we want to set it to true that, hey, it has one digit. So I can say has digit. I'm just naming the variable has underscore digit, and I can assign it the Boolean value false. But once I check in here whether it has digit or not, and if it does has a digit, I want to make it true, right? I want to set this has digit variable to true. Likewise, in the same for loop, either you can write a separate for loop for checking for uppercase letter, or the same for loop also you can do the same. You can just here apply the if here and check whether there is a uppercase or not. So again, you have a function for the string data type is upper. So it will give you true when you have an uppercase digit, uppercase character in your password here. So if this is true, I'm gonna set this as, so maybe I can have a variable for this as well, as upper, and I'm initializing it to false. It has the value false, but as soon as I find my first uppercase letter, I can make it true, true with a capital T, so Boolean value true, right? So this will work. I mean, let's just go ahead and check it. Now, if you check the values of has digit, it does have digit. Hello 123 has the digit 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't matter how many digits it has because the condition is that it should contain at least one digit. So this is fine, even if it has one digit, doesn't matter how many digits are there. And has upper should be false. Why? Because I don't have any uppercase letters or alphabets in my password. So yeah, it is returning false. So these are the three conditions that I need to check for. So let's just put it all together now. So I'll go ahead and maybe put this block first. I'll just do Control X. So that is generally how I write the code. I'll just write the pieces and just bring it all together. Especially when you are just starting off, this is how you should be writing. Work through each piece and then, because if you just start thinking from very linearly while writing your code, you might not be able to complete it, or it might feel a bit difficult. But now that you have all the blocks figured out, each individual part that is required, it's all about stringing them together so that you have your complete solution. And once you have all of this, right? Once you have your has underscore digit, has underscore upper, you need to just check whether the has underscore digit is true, has underscore upper is true, and length of password is greater than or equal to 8. If all of these conditions are satisfied, then that means it's a strong password. So for this, we'll say if, so let's just go ahead and first check for the password. That password is not less than 8. So if password is not less than 8, then we want to go ahead and check whether it has digit and uppercase also. But before we do that, just in case the password is less than 8 characters long, I want to tell the user that, hey, your password is less than 8 characters. So password is less than 8 characters long. Us. And maybe we can just say password should have at least 8 characters. Okay. So yeah, so that my user knows, okay, what he's doing wrong. Now, if this condition is false, that means the password is correct. At least it is greater than 8 characters. Then we want to go ahead and check our next condition. What is the next condition here? That the has underscore digit is true. So if not has digit, that means if has digit is true, this will return a false. And if has digit is false, this will return a true. So if this is true, which means has digit is false, it doesn't have at least one digit, then we want to go ahead and print that the password must contain at least one digit. And similarly, if let's say it has one digit, then we want to go ahead and check whether it has at least one uppercase character or not. But if it doesn't, so we are saying if it doesn't have it, we want to prompt the user that no, you don't have an uppercase. Password must contain at least one uppercase. And if all of these conditions are not met, then the else block would be executed. If all the conditions are false, what does it mean? That the password is greater than 8. It has more than 8 characters. It has digits. It has one uppercase at least. So in that case, we want to say, great, your password is accepted. Okay. So this is what we intend to do. And then we want to keep asking the user to enter the password until they have entered a strong password. So we'll come to this point a bit later. But first, let's try to run this code as it is. Here we are, it will just run once. So let's say we enter hello 123. So it should give us the message password must contain at least one uppercase. And that's what it is giving us. Let's try it again with hello 123, but H is capital this time. Why is it saying pending? Yeah. So password accepted. So this time it has all the criterias are met. Password is greater than 8. So this condition, len of password less than 8. This is not true. Even this is not true, right? Not has digit. So it does have uh, digits, 3 digits actually, 123, and it does have an uppercase. So the else block would be executed and it is printing password accepted. So far so good, but this is not what we exactly wanted. We wanted it to keep prompting till the user has got the password right. That means we want to run this block of code in a loop. But how many times do I want to run it? 4 times, 5 times, 8 times, 9 times? I don't know, right? Until and unless I'm a mind reader, I would not know how many tries it would take for the user to enter the correct password. So I should better go with the while loop, right? While loop is for such scenarios. So let's do this. Let's go into an infinite while loop for now. So while true. There are other ways to do this as well, but I'm saying let's just run it in the loop. And because while true, true will be always true here. That means this condition would always be true. So we are getting into an infinite loop. Then you might say, okay, well, then how do I come out of the loop? Because once the user has accepted the password, I want to come out of the loop. So you do remember we talked about the break statement, everyone, in the previous sessions? Here we can use break. You want to break out of this while loop. But when do we want to break out of this while loop? When the user has entered the correct password. When the user has entered the correct password, this else block would be executed. That means here I can add a break. So as soon as this else block is executed and the user has entered the correct password, I want to break out of this while loop. So let's try it out. Now let me say good morning 1 2 3 4 5. So this doesn't meet our criteria because it doesn't have 8 characters. Let me try hello 1 2 3. Again, doesn't meet the criteria. This time it doesn't have an uppercase. Let me try hello underscore q. Again, doesn't meet the criteria. Not 8 characters long. And now hello 1 2 3 4. Now the password is strong based on the criteria specified above, and the password has been accepted. So you see, we have worked in, like, we have tried to figure out each part of the problem and then try to solve the entire problem using each of those parts. So that is the approach I would say you should be also taking, especially in the beginning when you're just learning. That really helps and that really clears out the concepts. Also, try to print all the intermediate results. So maybe just try to print the values of has results. Just put, if you're new, just print has result. For an experienced programmer, this might be just a distraction, doesn't add any value in here. But if you are new, learning Python for the first time, then such small tricks really help. Hope you had fun, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.